YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. And I got the Buffalo Bills offseason rebuild for you guys today. I played GM for every single NFL team. We got quite a few of these up already. Plenty more to come, but today with the Bills making some cuts, restructures, clearing that cap space they need to become a championship team because they're damn close right now, and they're making some big-time signings and draft picks. Going to break it down here. Plenty of NFL offseason content already on the channel, a lot more to come. Franchise tag period just started. We have a video on who I predicted to get those. We grade every single free agency signing, so that's going to be coming up. Really looking forward to that, and plenty of NFL draft coverage. So join us for that. Subscribe. Must follow that Twitter. Constant talk, breaking news, breaking everything down on there instantly. So check out that Twitter. Link in the description and comments for anything that you need. Here's the Twitter. Yeah, just constant talk about what's going on, giving you guys a schedule on what's to come for these rebuild videos. And we got polls on here too. You guys are voting for best fan base right now. We're in round 2. I'm trying to get there. Could retweet these, but to bring them back to the top. But yeah, we're making a fan base bracket out of this. So yeah, a lot going on here. Link pinned in the comments along with this page, which is free for everybody. It's kind of a cheat sheet to this offseason. If you click this link, that'll bring you to restructure options. Pretty informing stuff here. So yeah, there'll be a link in the comments with that as well. Keep that handy. It'll be a little cheat sheet for this offseason here. But the Bills cap space is just positive. Again, we're still at that point where we don't have a set team salary cap. Weird offseason. So this is kind of around worst case scenario. They could have a little more, but this is realistic that this could be it. I'm making some big decisions here. I'm cutting Mario Addison, which is big money, $8.2 million. Solid pass rusher still. He's definitely aging, but a big part of the Bills becoming that, right now they're a contender, no doubt about it. But a big part is getting to the quarterback. They're getting pressure, but they're not actually getting to the quarterback. So let's try to get better at that position. Jerry Hughes is a cut candidate. He's getting so much pressure that I just need him to get to the quarterback. We're going to hang on to him, because there's not so many options out there where we can for sure get better than Jerry Hughes. Addison and Jerry Hughes. Maybe a guy like AJ Epinesa could step up. John Brown, yeah, tough decision because he's a big-time playmaker, speedy guy, fits the system, just misses games here and there, and, he is aging as well. I think you can get better and much cheaper there. You also got, they obviously got Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, and a guy like Gabriel Davis stepping up. But I do think receiver is a pretty big need if you cut John Brown, but you can handle that in the draft. Cheaper and younger, healthier, maybe better. So cut that. And then some minor cuts. Oh, I guess they're not that minor. They add up to a pretty good amount of money there, but we'll see what, after the cuts, $22 million. So that's looking pretty good. But, if you want to be that championship team, that number one contender after this offseason alone, want to clear a little bit more space. So Tre'Davious White went ahead and restructured his contract, pushing some money back into further years, and that freed up $7.27 million in cap space. Obviously, that it's not a pay cut. That'll be paid in future years, but we're trying to build that championship team right now. So worth doing. Same with Stephon Diggs, pushing that money back, $6.73 million. So that's a pretty good amount of money cleared here. So then we go to re-signings, and we got around $36 million in cap space. That's looking pretty good for a championship caliber team or close to getting there. $36 million is pretty good. I would like to get Darrell Williams back here. Was a phenomenal right tackle for them last year. Had a fantastic season. They got Cody Ford, who has reps at right tackle and guard. I'd like to put him at guard. Maybe we don't have to sign both our free agent interior offensive lineman. See, I didn't sign Feliciano back. I think Cody Ford could play that right guard. And Becker, as of now, as of re-signing him for a cheap deal, I think he could be a starter, but it would be ideal for him to be a key backup guy in case anyone goes down. So your money's being spent on Darrell Williams and Matt Milano, and that could take a little bit of a cap hit there. Williams could be franchise tag. I think you can get him a little cheaper if you sign him multiple years, possible. And then some, Levi Wallace, guys like that. I think on the cheaper side here, Matt Milano might be a little cheaper coming back to the Bills. He might take a little less money. I heard he can get up to $12 million per year, on the market, maybe 10.5 to 11 range with the Bills. I'm hoping. Darrell Williams, franchise tag I think would be north of $13 million, which a lot of teams could be in the market for Darrell Williams. If Taylor Moton's probably getting from the Panthers, probably going to get the franchise tag. If Darrell Williams does not get the franchise tag, he's by far the best right tackle available. So there might be a little bit of a bidding war, but you get him back for, close to $12 million per year. We'll see how that, he could be an interesting one. So you still got some cap space left over here. Option 1, yeah, you can get better on the interior. We want to be able to run the ball better. Running the ball is just pretty much non-existent right now, and it's making Josh Allen's job a lot harder right now. So let's make his job easier, so he'll look even better, and, as he's, growing, as a player as well. So get Joe Thuney in there. You have some money to do that. That would be ideal. It just helps it's 2 for 1 too. It helps your interior block, your run blocking. It helps your, stop the interior pressure there. So your offensive line in general gets better. I would love Jonnu Smith for them. I thought he would get the franchise tag because it's not that much money, but the Titans aren't going to use it on him. So I think he ends up going for more money than what the franchise tag is for him. So that could be a mistake by the Titans. He's the ultimate weapon. Everyone's trying to get that mismatched tight end you can get creative with. You can use him in the backfield. You can use him out wide. You can use him, slot, in line, everywhere. And that, the Bills just want as many. And they actually have some tight ends. They got Knox and they got Croft, but and those are solid tight ends. At the end of the day, we're building a championship team. You get better with a guy like, you don't have a guy like Jonnu Smith here who's getting better. He's an ultimate weapon. You see, they fell to the Chiefs. Why? The Chiefs just had more. That's the way I look at it. The Chiefs, pretty similar teams. The Chiefs just had more, mainly weapons. They had more of it. It was just too much. So the Bills need to get there. And a guy like Jonnu Smith, a mismatch problem, a guy that's getting better, it'd be huge. This would be a huge signing for them. I think they could be interested too. And Nelson Aguilar, kind of a guy to replace John Brown, so younger, a guy that's getting better. You see where he took that step. He got a lot better last year. It wasn't just, he got better because maybe he had a better, more accurate quarterback, maybe a better coach system, whatever it may be. Not all of those things might be true, but whatever it may be, that's the reason he got better. But if you actually watch him, he got better as a player regardless of who the quarterback was, who the coaching staff was. He got better. And I think you put him in here with Josh Allen in this offense that he fits, I think it'll be big. I think it'll be big time here. So that'd be a really key addition. I don't think he's going to go back to the Raiders because, there was some rumors about him, not happy with the rest of the players. I'm not happy with him. I don't know, but it seemed like a good fit, but this would be an even better fit. So then you go into the draft. You don't have too many giant needs. Again, the running game needs to improve. Another position like tight end where you got some guys that could play. Zach Moss, good young running back. Devin Singletary, good young running back. Bottom line is you can get better than both of them, and this can help things out for Josh Allen, opening things up in the pass game. You can run more play action because you can't run play action without a running game. So get a guy like Najee Harris who really elevated his game in terms of pass catching, downfield, in the backfield, so that could help out a ton. So it's not just, you're not just helping the running game. The running game helps to open up the passing game, but he also is involved in the pass game too. So Asante Samuel, this is kind of a best case scenario because I think, the Bills could be interested in him late first. Maybe they trade up a little bit in the second, but there's some talk. It's realistic. He can go around here. I think it's a tremendous fit, opposite of Tre'Davious White. This guy's going to be a playmaker in a defense like this. Really good at reading the quarterback and attacking the football. He's a playmaker. It's what he is. There's going to be other guys that are more physical, can press better, but I like Asante Samuel in this defense. And then another edge rusher here, in Chauncey Golson here. So in this scenario, I would like to get better edge rush wise, but AJ Epinesa steps up. We kept Jerry Hughes. So those guys are probably the starters. And I think there are more important positions in this scenario. It could be just as important, but, getting those targets, Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar, and then, Najee Harris and Asante Samuel being a better fit. Chauncey Golson's pretty underrated from Iowa, another Iowa guy with AJ Epinesa. So that could be ideal for them. I think the Bills' interior defense line's really going to take off this year because they got some studs. It didn't really work out this past year. Not that they didn't work out. They were just a little underwhelming. You expect Ed Oliver to be better. You expect Quentin Jefferson to be better. Vernon Butler. I think these guys can step up this year. So you get your pressure from there, maybe your sacks from there. But there is another scenario where you just go all out at edge rush. This one was just pretty much offense, which is ideal. And that's this route. So you see a pretty big name. And this kind of rides on the Broncos declining Von Miller's option because Von Miller is not a free agent at the moment. if the Broncos decline his option, which there are rumors that are very realistic, very credible, and the Broncos might decline Von Miller's option. And I think the team like the Bills would be very, interested in a guy like Von Miller because, they kind of like their pass rushers right now. But if there's a spot where if there's a guy that's for sure better, like 100% better, big time player like Von Miller, they're going to go out and try to get him. So that's where they spend most of their money. They can add, in another scenario, they can add a running back in free agency rather than the draft. Chris Carson, I would like him with the Bills, that physical runner that, makes teams come up in the box. So that really opens up things up for Josh Allen downfield, makes things easier there. Just about staying healthy for him. But shouldn't cost too much money. Seahawks could get him back. And then added a guy like Richard Sherman to pair opposite of Tre'Davious White. Playing for a contender shouldn't be too pricey. Yeah, injury's a little bit of a concern there too, but we know he's still a big-time corner, in the right team like the Bills. Then you go into the draft, adding another receiver because you want to match the Chiefs. You want to be able to beat the Chiefs. You want, again, I think the Chiefs just had more. That was the reason they beat them. They just had more at that time, mainly in terms of playmakers. So adding a playmaker like Kadarius Toney in this, scenario, adding him with Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, would be big time. Just so much more speed, playmaking ability. It can make that offense that much more dangerous because, in this scenario, in free agency, we focus on the draft. Or we focus on defense in free agency, in the draft, we're going offense. So then you add that guy that can play in the interior. Maybe he could be your center of the future, perhaps, in Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma. And then you add that tight end, more of that weapon tight end, that playmaking tight end that you kind of want to get here in Brevin Jordan, who's pretty underrated. He's a freak athlete here at the tight end position, playmaking ability. So, yeah, honestly, I think both these scenarios are so different, but they're both very realistic. It's just trying to figure out which angle they want to take. Which one do they want to take, in this offseason. Either way, it makes them more of a championship team than they were last year. So that's great, obviously. But, yeah, two kind of totally different angles here. And, even though and I always post these on Twitter, and you guys decide, you can comment, vote on which one you like better. Von Miller is pretty appealing here, but I think I like the first option better now that I'm thinking about it. I just think just loading up that offense and free agency, creating those mismatch problems, I think would be absolutely huge. So yeah, I really like these scenarios. This kind of rides on them clearing the space though. Remember that backtrack. This is not just going to happen just overnight. We can't just go into free agency and have these scenarios happen. They got to make those cuts and they got to restructure some contracts to make this happen. And then that's to re-sign those guys and make this happen. So it's tough. So it's not guaranteed here. If the Bills sit quiet and don't do much, I'm not going to like it at all, even though they're still going to be a good team. So we'll see what they decide to do. A lot of different scenarios could happen here. So really looking forward to seeing what they do this offseason. And we'll have you covered for that and for every single team, of course. And we are doing every single team for this video series. So hopefully you join us for all that. A lot on the channel already. Please subscribe, smash that like button, turn notifications on. Check us out on Twitter. It's an absolute must follow. Link in the comments for anything you need. That's going to do it, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.